the leadership of a political pressure group founded by former President Olusegun Obasanjo, the Coalition for Nigerian Movement, CNM, on Thursday, May 10, announced its fusion into African Democratic Congress, ADC. Vanguard reports that this was done with a view to forming a formidable force to wrestle power from the ruling All Progressive Congress, APC, in 2019 poll. We gathered that it was resolved that with the understanding of like-minded persons and organizations across the country, Nigeria will be rescued, and that the elections of 2018 and 2019 would be used to cure the curse and afflictions of failed leadership and perpetual underdevelopment. A co-convener of CNM, Olagunsoye Oyinlola, who made the pronouncement at a World Press Conference in Abuja, said with this development, the Coalition for Nigerian Movement, CNM, has ceased to exist, having formally collapsed into the political party. He said, the decision to move into African Democratic Congress, ADC, therefore, is an appreciation of the progressive essence of the party and its untainted existence on the terrain of our nation's politics. The former military administrator of Lagos State, who regretted the worsening state of things in the country, added, "We have said it before and we are stating it here again that the current state of despair and despondency in our dear country is a no-win. It is foreboding and can only lead to a conflagration." Between January when CNM was formed and now, can we say that the story of Nigeria has changed for the better? Have things not worsened at all levels? According to him, I thank all of you for being here today. You will all recall that in January this year, the Coalition for Nigeria Movement, CNM, was formed by some of us across the country as a political platform to create a new generation of leaders for our country. Between that time and today, a lot of ground has been covered in achieving the set goals. One of such is what we are doing here today, the formal fusing of our movement into the African Democratic Congress. Beyond what we are doing here today, we put our countrymen and women, old and young, on notice that they should expect more from us, that they should expect deepened political engagements across platforms in the coming days and weeks. In other words, this is just the first in a multi-layered action plan to give back the country to its much-deprived people. As we stated in January during the launch of the CNM, we are taking on this task not minding the inconveniences and other expected and unexpected consequences of our efforts at reinventing the country. We admit that structural inadequacies and failure of leadership have robbed our country of greatness. We also note that a future of greatness for Nigeria will only be birthed by a new generation of youthful leaders with fresh ideas and knowledge of what it takes to govern a 21st century nation. This gathering here today is a proof that the modest efforts at waking up the vast majority of our people to for once, take their destiny in their hands as demanded by the Constitution are bearing fruits already. Our Constitution guarantees all Nigerians their fundamental human rights, including freedom of association and the right to hold political views. The decision to move into African Democratic Congress, therefore, is an appreciation of the progressive essence of the party and its untainted existence on the terrain of our nation's politics. While I on behalf of the leadership and the over 3 million members of the CNM congratulate ADC as the vehicle for national reinvention, I urge us to let us know that the task ahead is an arduous one that needs further strengthening of the forces of change. What I am saying is that we should be open to new engagements and alliances being forged and crystallizing across the country. Oyinlola, who was also a former Osun state governor, stressed further that we should remain committed to the use of the tools of democracy to recreate a middle Nigeria that will truly serve all, irrespective of religion, tribe or socio-economic status. We have said it before and we are stating it here again that the current state of despair and despondency in our dear country is an ill wind. It is foreboding and can only lead to a conflagration. Between January when CNM was formed and now, can we say that the story of Nigeria has changed for the better? Have things not worsened at all levels? Indeed, every one of us who has been in power before at whatever level may have a share of the blame for the state of the nation. That fact, however, will not disqualify us from being part of, and indeed, stand at the vanguard of finding a lasting solution to this problem. Indeed, those who have seen it all but with the right perspective are better placed to bring in knowledgeable young men and women to come and reinvent the country for the challenges of the future. ADC and other like-minded political parties should join other patriots in democratically building and enthroning a new set of youthful, knowledgeable and goal-oriented leadership for this country. We believe, therefore, that through right engagements and fundamental reordering of the affairs of our nation, our country will be out of the woods. Nigerians are a very resilient people. They are great optimists. They have invested so much trust and hope in our democratic infrastructure with very miserable returns, so far. As I stated during the launch of the CNM, our country must not continue to be condemned to a 4-yearly ritual of voting without results. To get positive results, therefore, we must get right the choice of leadership. But the apple does not fall far from its tree. Only credible, positive platforms can produce positive results. A tree conceived and nurtured in lies can only bear imaginary fruits. Every government has ideas and programs, most times packaged in flowery prose. The deficit in leadership is noticed at the point of implementation of the ideas and policies. ADC, from its well-enunciated policies and programs, is well placed to make democracy work for the people. ADC is properly placed to join other patriots in moving Nigerians in all the wards, the 774 local governments and the 36 states to join hands to make our country truly great. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have a job to do. The destiny of Nigeria is not to remain forever in crisis and in the doldrums. As the CNM takes this momentous step of coalescing into ADC as a vital step in building a national consensus to reconstruct the country, we assure all Nigerians with their support and the understanding of like-minded persons and organizations across the country, Nigeria will be rescued. God willing, the elections of 2018 and 2019 will be used to cure the curse and afflictions of failed leadership and perpetual underdevelopment. In his remarks, the founding national chairman of African Democratic Congress, ADC, Chief Ralph Snosu, described the fusion as the dawn of Great Nigeria project, leading with the right ethical compass. Chief Nosa said, nation building could be a very daunting exercise. But with good and committed leaders, the journey could be much easier. I invite all Nigerians to have very deep reflection concerning our nation Nigeria, and its new years of nationhood. According to him, today our great country with 200 million population is in a dysfunctional state. Our biggest resources and human capacity and diversity seem to be weighing us down and tearing us apart. However, I do not want to dwell on our failings. I want to assure you all that we, the African Democratic Congress ADC, working with Coalition or Nigeria Movement CNM, and many strategic coalition partners, involving a rainbow coalition of political parties, civil societies, labor and trade unions, and well-meaning eminent Nigerians, are determined to reframe the narratives about Nigeria. We have worked tirelessly to put this coalition together. Many important stakeholders helped to guide our party. I wish to specially mention President Olusegun Obasanjo for his tireless support. His words, "I am not perfect, but one enjoin you to join me in having deep passion and unshakable commitment for Nigeria. This will guide this new ADC always." The formal launch of our new ADC party will take place so. I wish to enjoin all of us to embrace our philosophy of role modeling leadership as a way to building the new Nigeria and a greater Africa. In everything we do, to be successful, we must remain true to ourselves. Deep reflection helps leaders to clear their heads, clarify their path, to be able to focus purposefully. For each party involved, we expect true and committed engagement to the Nigeria project.